In this video, we'll be taking a look at Drum Machine by Audiorealism, an 808, 909 and 606 emulation that also features a 32-step sequencer. We'll be taking a look at some of the sequencing options that we have for programming our rhythms in Drum Machine. We'll also take a look at the pattern controlled effects feature, where we can apply various different step sequence based automation and edits to the drum machine. We'll also take a look at how we can use Drum Machine as a multi-output instrument inside Ableton Live 9. So we can add extra steps to our sequences by simply clicking on the instrument and make sure we're in pattern right mode. We can either add accented or unaccented steps by clicking once or twice on any one of these steps in our sequence. We also have a global accent control, where we can add accent steps globally to the whole sequence. And we can control the level of these accents here. We can add flam hits to our sequence as well. I click on the clap here and then click on edit. Now any steps I add to the sequence would be flam hits. We can control the amount of flam using this control here, which is great for adding drum fills. Now let's take a look at the pattern controlled effects and how we can use this to add step sequence based automations. I'm going to turn it on first, and then once I click on the PCF, any changes I make will be added as automation to that step. So let's turn the low pass on for starters and go back into the PCF, and we can set different cutoff values for each one of the steps in our sequence. As soon as we start adding those automations, you can see the red box appear around the parameter. And we can hear those low pass filter automations now happening on the sequence, and we can see the parameter moving. Take that filter off for now, and let's program in some conga hits into our sequence. Let's go back into the pattern controlled effects and use that to automate the tuning of this conga. You can see the tuning automating now according to those parameters and values we set. We can switch this to mid-tom. Now let's try high tom and use that same technique. Program in our hits, go back into the PCF, select our step, change the tuning. So now let's take a look at how we can set up the ADM as a multi-output instrument in Ableton Live 9. I have my instance of ADM here, and I'm going to add some extra audio channels in which I can bring the individual instruments into. Add in 11 audio channels for each one of the instruments on ADM. Now on the plugin itself, above the instrument, we can right click here and select our output routing. selecting an individual channel for each instrument. Now on Ableton Live 9, we can select all our channels, set the audio from to ADM, set the monitor to in, and now deselect and select our individual input channels from 1 to 11. Now we can use any of the Ableton Live 9 plugins or any other plugins that we have, VST or audio units, to process our sounds coming from the ADM. As you can see, ADM is a fun and easy to use plugin with great 808, 909 and 606 sounds, and a very advanced step sequencer where we can make our sequences really dynamic using the PCF controls. Be sure to check out Drum Machine by Audiorealism, which is available now at adsrsounds.com.